Woo! Okay, week 25 of playing this. It has been quite a ride so far, and I think y'all are pretty much at the end of this chapter and leading into the next chapter. So your level up timing has gone pretty well. Last time you interrogated, actually, it was mostly an interrogation. I was going to say you interrogated in quotes this guy, but he kind of did the whole skeleton thing to himself. That wasn't you. So you interrogated this guy, another one of the Leadbuster lads, and he gave you some information about where Hargret Leadbuster, the leader of their little band, would be and what he would be doing. And it turns out his plan was to attack a local lumber yard. Excuse me, not a lumble yard. I don't know what that is. Whatever the heck a lumble is. Apparently they have yards for them. Named the Inkelholtz lumber yard. The Inkelholtz family, some of you in the party recognized, have been in here for quite a while, and they oppose the Kortos Consortium, which is the big lumber company in the region, the big corporate lumber company in the region. And so you suspect that the Leadbuster lads were hired by the Kortos Consortium in order to make life difficult for the Inkelholtz lumberyard. Fortunately for the Inkelholtz family, you all arrived on the scene just before the Leadbuster lads were finished preparing to strike, and you intercepted, and while the lumberjacks themselves took on some hellhounds and rats off in the distance, you all fought some lingering rats that escaped that combat and the Leadbuster lads themselves. It was quite a difficult combat, and by the end of it, poor Nocti was laying unconscious on the ground, gravely wounded. You eventually did kill Hargret Leadbuster, the leader of the Leadbuster lads, and a pretty terrible, awful person, it seemed like. Unfortunately, though, Omblin Leadbuster, his brother, and a bit of a more nimble, sneaky character, escaped the combat and ran off into the forest. So in this scene, what are we doing? Is anybody rushing off after Omblin as fast as possible here? If so, we should probably tackle that first, just because of the timing of things.
I'm not, but if anyone does, I have 4 wins to give you.
How far, can I figure out how far away he is? Is he all the way out of sight already? Is he within, 120 feet of me?
I think he's had a pretty good head start already. He fled a couple rounds ago, if I recall correctly. And he was just using all 3 actions to run at max speed away. So I would say he's already a few hundred feet away in thick forest underbrush in an unknown direction. So if somebody wants to start tracking him down, we might need rolls to actually track his trail and things like that, and then it's going to be extremely difficult to catch up to him, I'll say, but it is possible, so I'll let you roll for it. If you all have special abilities that can tie into this and all that kind of stuff, then absolutely, let's chase him down. But I just thought I'd let you know that ahead of time. It's a pretty dire situation to catch him.
Well, I am reduced to 20 feet of movement a turn.
Ah.
So I would have to stay behind unless he is... let's see.
I will say, it didn't seem like he was that swift on his feet. He was wearing not the heaviest armor ever, but heavy enough that he wasn't as fast as Jib or anything. So if you all could figure out his direction quickly and easily, then perhaps Jib could keep up with him, but it all depends on how easy that is.
Use search, listen.
See
if I hear any rustling in the underbrush.
Yeah, normally that's it's a 60-foot radius because of Whisper Elf, right? To seek a creature.
I can't remember, probably.
So
it won't be helpful here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a 60-foot radius for seeking, so he's probably already beyond earshot for his running noises. So if you want to track him down, this might be more of a like a survival kind of like actually tracking type check, I think. Unless somebody has like a spell to track him or another special ability. Also, did anyone actually even announce that they were going to be chasing him yet? I think we've kind of speculated.
Jib was just says, "Let's get him."
Okay, cool. So if you want to try and get him, if you think you could pass a survival check, feel free to. If anyone else wants to add modifiers onto that, like guidance or helping or whatever.
Definitely.
All right.
Can I attempt to help with my +8 nature?
Sure. I'll allow a nature assistance.
Nature assistance.
We'll just see if you roll good enough to add a +1 to Jib's check here.
Probably not.
Actually, 12 was exactly the DC I had in my head. So,
Oh.
You do manage to add +1 to Jib's check here, which I believe is a circumstance bonus for the aid action, which makes sense. Just making sure that.
And then what do I add for guidance?
+1 status bonus. So they do stack.
Oh, was that supposed to be?
It doesn't. Nah, it doesn't need to be. You're fine. So, well, I will say that probably is a failure, but you have some hero points now at the start of the session. So that's up to you if you want to use them.
I will.
All right. Go ahead and give that a reroll. I think you can just right click it and there's like a hero point button.
It's not. It doesn't seem to be working for me. I'm trying to do it normally.
Okay, that works. So a d20 plus 9. We'll see what you get. Damn. So you rush off into the woods, Jib. You scream like, "I'm gonna get him!" And just he had too much of a head start, and the underbrush of this forest, the lower canopy here, it's too dark in here already. The sun's starting to set. You're not finding many tracks he left. It appears he's pretty good at hiding his tracks and being sneaky, and that appeared to be his combat style as well, was being very sneaky. So it was going to be hard to catch him. And unfortunately, you search around the area a little bit, but after a few minutes, you give up. He's probably long gone at this point. So with Jib out in the woods, searching around, during that time, what is everyone else doing in the lumber camp? You can see... I'll leave that question more open. What are you doing in the lumber camp?
I am tending to Nocti worriedly.
So you can see that Nocti is extremely gravely wounded. She is lacking a lot of the energy, the planar energy that has bound her together, but her spirit has not given up yet. So you're going to need to do something potentially drastic here in order to keep her here with you.
Can I cast Stabilize?
Sure.
I don't want to mess with the narrative, but if that's a thing that works.
Yeah, so just to be clear here a little bit as well, we discussed between episodes, I got a few rules wrong in both in that fight and in general with how familiars should work, which definitely led to a much, much higher likelihood that this would happen to Nocti. So mechanically, Nocti is actually at dying 4 right now, which normally would be death. We have decided to pursue a bit of a retcon and instead fix a few things at once by reducing Nocti's form down to a smaller state that actually follows the familiar rules instead of basically having Nocti as an animal companion instead. Um, so, yeah, we'll say that as part of the narrative, without any actual mechanical effect, Ashay comes in to stabilize. And so Nocti is not currently in any danger of getting worse, but you definitely know that like she's too far gone at this point to just bring her back as she is.
I don't have any healing capabilities. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm pretty out too. I think I'll have to return her to Vapor for now.
Monkey screeching in the woods.
God.
At this point, Ogden is probably just laying on his back.
Yeah, that was a rough one for Ogden too. It was a rough one for everyone.
All right. Well,
So could you describe your actions, Ayla?
yes. I am going to kneel over Nocti and then gradually increase the speed of the winds flowing around me. Slowly picking up cloud vapor from Nocti's slightly disintegrating form until I'm fully surrounded in an orb of cloud. After a few moments, there's just one last meow from the cloud as Nocti fully evaporates. The winds slow down, the clouds dissipate, and Ayla is just on the floor. Still kneeling, but at 4 health and having evaporated a cat.
Yes.
Ashay will go over and offer her one of her 2 remaining healing potions.
No, I'll be fine. I have a couple, I think. One, not a couple, just one.
All right.
I'll be fine, though.
I'll offer one to Ogden.
I'm good for now. I used a couple at the end of the last fight.
Okay.
Jib is also quite low, but I don't really think he cares because he is invincible.
True. He's never been defeated, not once.
I assume I can remove the persistent damage fire.
Yeah. I think after combat, will have enough time that, I mean, you can essentially just spam actions on each other to remove that stuff. So it's probably fine.
Oh, I'm going. Oh, right, we aren't in combat. I'm going to treat wounds on Ayla.
All right. So you start treating wounds, and in the meantime, one of the lumberjacks, the foreman, comes over again. Says, well, oh, good, you killed the bastard. God damn. Looks like we won the day. We got wounded. Looks like you got wounded too. We'll get tending to our own, of course, but just figured I'd let you know. We're pretty busy with handling that, but we're truly in your debt. The Inkelholtz family will get back to you. We'll make sure to repay you properly in the future. We just gotta prioritize some lives here.
Laying on the ground, I would definitely say, well, one of them got away.
God damn it. At least it wasn't that bastard, though. It'll be... He was the mastermind. I think the others just kind of went along with his stuff. If the others come back for revenge, well, we'll be ready. It's fine. He was the one that could summon monsters and stuff, so you know.
Well, there's only one of the 4 left. at this point.
It's the sneaky one. He's the only living one left.
No, there you go. So what's he gonna do? Sneak at us aggressively? Aggressively sneaking doesn't sound very sneaky. In all likelihood, it's just another hired sellsword. Their mission failed. I don't see any reason for him to stick around, but like I said, if he does, we'll be waiting for him. We'll make sure to keep a healthy guard rotating. If anything, I would expect if he wants revenge, he'd be looking more at you all, so maybe you should watch your backs too.
Always.
Yeah, good. Well, I'm going to go get back to my folks. We're going to make sure everybody gets patched up and is safe. Like I said, I'll make sure the family hears about this. We'll make sure payment makes its way to you. And we honestly, even above and beyond a payment, we'll probably owe you a pretty solid favor after all this. Pretty hard to repay you saving all of our lives like that. So, once again, thank you. You all are heroes. We'll make sure to spread that around, even though I've already heard a couple things about you.
Appreciate it. Well, we've got our own patching up to do.
Of course. He sees you currently, currently treating wounds.
Ogden just like puts his hand up with a thumbs up, laying on the ground.
Yeah. So he wanders back over to his group. Is this probably when Jib comes back from the woods, or are you still out there for a few minutes?
Yeah, I would say Jib comes back around this time and he says, "Heroes! If we're heroes, feed us!"
Jib, we can feed ourselves.
But heroes have banquets.
Yeah, so we can go back to the tavern.
I'm hungry. I don't feel so good. As you see, like, him just, like, cough up blood.
Covered in, like horrendous burns all over his body.
He's wounded 2 right now. I'm not sure what the significance of that is, but...
Essentially, it would mean if somebody crit you to death right now, it would be an instant death. You're, like, on the verge of death.
Lovely.
I believe Ogden and Ayala were both at wounded 2 as well.
Yes. There was a lot of people. Wounded 2 is really nasty. It's also, like, if you were to go down once more, even if you didn't get crit, if somebody just punched you hard enough right now, you would have, like, a 60 or 70% chance of just dying right there anyways. Like, you're, like, right on the edge of dying. It's pretty bad.
Well, fortunately for Ayala, I succeeded on my treat wounds, so she gets 9 points of healing and the wounded condition is removed.
Hell yeah.
I can stay for an hour, or I can move on to the next person in 10 minutes and just get rid of the wounded for people.
Yeah, you should probably go help out Jib.
All right. Now that Jib is back, let's see. Yeah, I'm sure I have some rations. I will fetch some rations out of my pack. Give them to Jib to snack on, and while he's distracted, I will treat wounds on him. All right. Success there. Jib gets 8 points of healing and loses all wounded conditions.
Love that. Thank you.
All right, Ogden's turn. 5 points of healing, lose your wounded.
Select at least 1 token. What?
Oh, if we were actually on a map with tokens, you could press that button. Otherwise, you kind of have to do it manually. I figured since we're not actually doing combat things anymore, it's overkill to load that map. Meanwhile, as well, since there's a bunch of time passing on treating wounds, would anyone have checked the body of Hargrit Leadbuster?
Nope.
I probably would have gotten up and checked it while
Okay.
some of the first healings were going.
So I'll just give you the list of what he's got then. None of it was particularly hidden. He's got on a suit of half plate. It is built for a dwarf. You might need to get it altered, but if you would want to wear it. But that is there. Pretty good armor. He's got a dagger as well, which is actually... Oh no, it's not actually a magical dagger. He cast a magic weapon on it during the combat. So it's a normal ass dagger, but hey, maybe you could still get some use out of that. Yeah, I can delete that and then it's okay, cool. He has on a religious symbol of some kind on a chain around his neck. That's just like a pendant that has some sort of religious symbol on it. Maybe somebody could identify that. And he has a map, which you clearly recognize because you also have a map of the area. It is a map of this local area of Otari and the surrounding hinterlands, and it marks in like excruciating detail the Leadbusters lads' plans to attack all these different places. Like it is clear evidence that they plan to attack the flume, they plan to attack the farms, they plan to attack this lumber camp, they plan to ambush like a bunch of trade routes and like all sorts of other crazy stuff. Like it just goes on and on and on of all the things that they plan to do, which matches up pretty exactly with all the things you found around town.
I will definitely take that.
Right.
And hand it over to whatever authorities in Otari.
Yes. So let me add some stuff to your sheet. So I got the map. It's called area map. It's in your equipment, but it also shows like it's got an extra note on like the plans. There's that religious symbol. Did you want to take the armor or weapons, or it's up to you.
What is the armor?
It is just a suit of half plate. So it's heavy armor. It's got a speed penalty, but it's pretty high quality armor.
You probably want to take it to sell it at least.
Yeah. Minus 10 speed penalty.
Yeah. Here, I'll just throw stuff onto Ogden's sheet, and then you can distribute it as you want. Would anyone want to take a look at the religious symbol?
After my half hour of treating wounds is up, I can. Or if Ayla wants to do it in the meantime.
I do not know much about religion, and also I'm being sad.
Yeah, I'm not trained in religion, so I would pass it off to other people.
Alright, I guess I'll take a look. I'm not spectacular, but I'm trained at least.
It's a pretty easy check just to recognize a god symbol.
I was about to say, does it look like something that could be Lore Goblin?
I don't think it would be Lord Goblin.
Alright, assuming my half hour of spending 10 minutes treating wounds on each of my friends is up. There's that.
There we go. So you recognize this as a symbol to Asmodeus, one of the powerful archdevils of hell.
Was that the one who sent them an angry note?
That was Lamashtu.
Oh.
Another very nasty deity. Both of these deities are very nasty for different reasons.
Well, yeah, we definitely want to keep our eyes peeled on this one.
Yeah, I think essentially Asmodeus is. I know alignment is kind of being phased out of the system, but since the gods were still originally based on it, it still makes some sense to organize them in this way, like a little bit. Like Asmodeus is lawful evil as fuck, Lamashtu is chaotic evil as fuck.
Mm.
So the difference between like a devil that wants to make deals and scheme and plot and gain power, and then Lamashtu being more of like a fuck it, kill everyone, we'll get power that way kind of deity.
That does seem like a rather effective way to get power. If there's no competition.
She also likes playing with her competition before killing them sometimes, so yeah, we better stay out of her way. Also, his way, really dealing with the evil deities is not great.
I mean, hopefully this is the last that we'll have to deal with them.
So knowing that this is a very evil symbol, do you take it to try and sell it somewhere? Do you just leave it on the body? Like what are you doing here?
What is it made out of?
It is made of wood.
I'm gonna cast Produce Flame
Yeah, hell yeah. I love that.
over and over until it's ash.
Honestly, take an extra hero point for that. You just keep on burning away at this evil religious symbol until it is no more, just a pile of ash. And you feel a little bit. You feel a little bit of what's the word I'm looking for? Comfort's the wrong word, but like you feel relieved. You feel like a little bit of relief from this symbol no longer being present with you.
Yeah. Ashay's still got like all of the sweeping ash, so as she's casting the spell, the ash is piling up and like swirling around her. And her eyes are glowing, and it just feels like she's in a rage because she's also channeling all of her energy about letting someone go and lose, Noctis dying, making Ayala sad.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of an overkill moment, but once the symbol is indistinguishable from the ash around her, then she'll stop, collapse to the floor, and maybe start meditating.
Makes a lot of sense. Get that curse level back down a little bit.
Yeah. If you guys are okay waiting here for another 10 minutes or so, I'll still be a little slow going, but at least I won't slow you all down as well.
No worries here.
I'm actually currently over encumbered.
You want me to take something?
I believe I have your feather ladder.
You can send that back if you want.
How do I do
Jordan might have to do it.
Jib has plenty of room in his inventory. I think I have like 1 out of like 16. Well,
Who am I sending to what?
Uh,
The ladder feather goes back into my inventory.
Oh, did you not use it?
no, I jumped.
Fair enough.
And
Easy
then the
enough.
half plate to Jib.
okay.
Just carry this.
The pack monkey.
It's shiny, and it'll mean that we can get you more food later. And probably some good alcohol.
He like bites it. He's like, ow.
Clink. Teeth on metal. All right. Is anyone else still wounded? Have we done all of the at least treating of the wounded condition?
I think so.
All right.
I'm
good.
squishy, but I didn't go below half health.
Yeah, that's fair. So, that's
And
good
again,
then.
you
It
guys
is.
going below half health is my full health bar.
Yeah. So it is getting a little bit later at this point. Like the sun has gone down since you spent some time here healing up and getting ready, meditating, looking over loot, all the stuff here. But the lumberjacks have all started. They've all finished packing people up and heading out. Like a couple people needed to get put on like really quick makeshift stretchers that some of the lumberjacks are helping carry back to town, things like that. But they're all taking care of their people and heading out. So are you all heading back to town as well? What's your plan here? You kind of, I mean, you could stay out here and do more investigating or something. You don't necessarily have to go back to town. I'm just trying to figure out what the plan is.
How far is our little cabin from here?
It's probably in roughly the same direction out of town. So I'd say maybe an hour of travel. So just get to your home instead.
Is that about the same distance back to Otari?
Yeah, it's probably about an hour or two back to Atari. I actually need to pull that thing back up, but I would say it's either equal or shorter. Yeah.
Because my thought is if we can get to the cabin faster, just at least stay there for the night and then come back here in the morning and do some investigating.
Well, I guess it depends on what you plan on investigating, right? Like if you have an idea of something to look into.
Oh, not really.
Yeah, because you totally could come back, but like, I left that hanging as an option because I didn't know if anyone had like crazy special abilities or like a specific thing they want to use to investigate or like an idea to chase. Um, I don't necessarily mean to suggest you're missing something. I just am throwing out options because this is an open game. It's a role playing game. It's not a video game. You can do whatever the fuck you want.
I don't have any more ideas for things to investigate, really.
I think we should sleep. I forgot. Is town or the hideaway closer?
Probably the hideaway.
Okay. Um,
Oh yeah, spend more money on your exhaust. We can hear the car or motorcycle outside going run, run.
oh yeah.
They're doing something.
So we've got a bunch of votes to just head back to the hideaway and sleep. It sounds like.
Sleep
I think
is
so.
good.
Yeah, we get to see Ollie.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I think Ollie would cheer us up.
So you all make your way back to the hideaway. We can skip over the travel because nothing really bad happens. It's fine. And you're all beaten and bruised and probably traveling a little slowly because of that, anyways. So you'd probably see danger coming, but no danger arrives. You get back to your hideaway. You get a good pot of stew or something going. What's the plan for food?
Did we say we brought all of our stuff that we purchased for the cabin back to it?
Yeah, I think that happened during some downtime.
Yeah, probably make a nice stew. Something really beefy for Jim.
Right, so as you start cooking, not little Ollie comes through the special door in the wall, the Ollie door you made between Ollie's room and the kitchen. Ooh, what are we cooking? What are we cooking?
Making a
That's like
nice
meat.
stew. Oh yeah.
Ollie loves
nice-
meat. Does like 7 backflips.
Do you think Jib is like drooling at this point?
He's used to sharing food with you all at this point.
But yeah, I would probably point at Jib and be like, "Yeah, Ollie, Jib's excited too. He likes food."
I love meat too.
Yay! Meat for everyone. Does a figure 8 in the air. Sparkly, rainbow, glittery lizard flying through the air.
All these impressive acrobatics.
Mm-hmm. When will it be done? When will it be done? When?
Uh, Not too long.
Is it done yet?
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay. How about now?
Hey, Ollie,
Hmm.
can you go keep Yaela company?
Yeah. Where? Yeah, I know AL's room.
Yeah, she's a little sad. Nocti had to go away.
Go away where?
Back into air for a little bit.
Ollie's in the air.
Yeah, but Nocti's made of air, remember? She was clouds.
Oh.
Yeah, she turned into wind for a little, so Ayala's kind of sad.
Okay. And Ollie just flies off. Ayla, would you just be like in your room in the little cabin place?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yep.
All right.
Dusting off my bed. Now that it's not Nocti's face.
Yeah, and you took the room next to Ollie, right? I think.
I don't remember.
I think you took the room next to Ollie. Ashay took the room next to where Finley was. I don't remember where Ogden and Jib were, but there were a few more bedrooms around, so there's plenty of space. Either way. So Ollie comes and like maybe doesn't even like knock on your door or anything, just his little lizard just kind of squeezes underneath the crack in the bottom of your door, like and like a cartoonish popping noise as she makes it all the way through. Ah, there you are.
You know, you could have just asked me to open the door if you can't yourself.
Just tilts her head to the side quizzically, like, what is knocking at the door?
Um,
Like this? And Ollie just flies into the door with the thunk.
as
like
long as that
recoils backwards.
okay, are you okay?
Looks a little dizzy. Like stars around her head, like, whoa.
Are you okay?
She shakes it off and is fine, it looks like. Yeah. It's almost food time. That'll cheer you up. It'll cheer Ollie up.
Food is pretty good. I might just stay here for a while.
Well, you gotta eat food, though.
Eventually.
At your dismissal of eating food, I think Ollie finally understands that you're sad. Like this is finally the point where it clicks. Like, wait, she doesn't want food? Oh shit. um. I'll make sure somebody else brings food. Ollie's not big enough and strong enough.
I would appreciate it. Thank you, Ollie.
Of course, Ollie's always here to help. I've been chasing rats out of the place while you're gone.
Ooh,
And spiders and things.
are
Oh,
they
he's
big
very helpful.
spiders like the ones we got rid of before?
Little spiders, little spiders.
Okay, good.
Big spiders are too big for Ollie. Should Ollie help you look in the air? Ollie's very good at
There?
looking for things in the air.
Oh, no, Nocti will be back. It'll
Oh, good.
just be a few days. She's not lost. She's just lost.
Like sleeping?
Ayla tilts her head to the side for a second. Yes? Sure.
I don't really get it, but okay. I hope she comes back soon.
I'm sure she will.
Okay, I'm gonna go see if the food's done. And Ollie rushes out the door again, once again squeezing under your door instead of waiting for you to open it.
You... I have hands, you know?
Ollie's already gone.
Oh dear.
Is the food done yet? Is it done yet? Is it ready yet?
How close is the food to being done?
Sure, it can be done or not done. It's your choice.
I'll be plating it, probably.
Perfect. Ooh, someone bring some to Ayla. I'm not strong enough. I don't have hands. I could try to bite the plate, but I don't think that would work very well.
Yeah, I would bring a plate to Ayala once everyone else has food. And I would just like knock on the door and say, "Hey, Lala, I have some food out here if you would like it."
Thank you. Food. Food is important or something. Thank you for making it though.
No problem. It's nice that we have a place to call our own now. And if you need anything, we are all here for you.
Yep. Thank you, Ogden. A hand will dart out of Ayla's room and take the food, dragging it, kicking and screaming back inside.
Food captured.
Hmm?
And so you all have a lovely meal in some part of the house. Maybe some of you gather in the dining room, Ayla in her room. Ollie probably you
Dining
just said
room?
a what?
We have a dining room?
Uh-huh.
Oh, lovely.
That
Yeah.
was the one where all the giant spiders were at first.
Yes. Originally,
There's
that's
no
where the
giant
spiders were.
spiders.
But you cleaned it out, and it's clean now, so you can sit in there and eat. You probably leave
I
a little
assume we
dish out
also
for Ollie.
unboarded the door that
Yes. Yeah, at this point you've had a little bit of downtime, so the house has been well cleaned up and maintained and repaired. And, it's not like a brand new place or anything, but it's perfectly livable now and pretty pleasant to be in just by like all the holes in the wall are patched up. There's no longer like you exposed to the elements, and all the doors work, and everything's clean. And you got little bits of furniture here and there that each of you have set up, and all that stuff. So, oh yeah, repaired windows, all of that. Lots of work put into this place already.
Smokehouse probably still smells, but we just keep it open.
Yeah, it's still letting it air out. It's gonna take a while.
It takes a while. To the tune of "It's been a while."
It's been a while.
So, do you all just settle in for the evening? Is there any other roleplay scenes you want to get through with each other here, or what's the vibe?
Do we want to try treating wounds like fully tonight, or just wait for the morning?
I'd probably try tonight.
If you got a few extra hours, why not?
So yeah, start with Jib during dinner because I know he'll be still while he eats.
You won't have to tie him to the chair afterwards if he's eating something.
Oh, can you make that public? I forgot.
God damn it. Yes, I can.
Sorry.
It's fine. It's just funny.
Alright. So for this hour, Jib gets 22 points of healing.
Dang.
How's Jib looking?
He's at like 2/3. A little over 2/3.
Alright. Let's try again. Next
Another
hour
20?
is 20 points.
Nice.
Oh, so not 10, it's 20?
Yeah, it's 10 over 10 minutes. If I treat for the hour, it's double whatever I rolled.
Then we are good to go.
Alright. Ogden's turn.
Very healthy monkey. Oof.
Nope. Alright.
So
So I
Ogden's
can't treat Ogden
immune.
for another hour.
Yeah.
Can I treat anyone else?
Yeah, you could treat someone else during that hour instead. Like you could go to
All right.
Ayla
Yeah.
for
Ayla,
yourself.
critical
Ooh.
success. Over the hour, you get 32 points of healing.
Pretty good.
How's Ayla looking after that? Okay. One more
Ooh.
bit of time.
Yeah.
So the other thing for Ayla, is your constitution modifier is pretty high, right?
It is. It's +4.
So you'll naturally heal 16 points overnight.
Mhm.
So you don't necessarily need to cap out tonight necessarily, but yeah. But
I'm
after
not
that
leaving
hour,
until she looks as good as I can make her. So 10 more minutes, 9 more points.
there we go.
Oh. It's 54.
So at this point, it's probably getting extremely late. It's probably like, well, I say extremely late, but this is mostly in adventurer terms where you all get up pretty early in the morning. You're morning people, so you can go on your adventures and stuff. Just fantasy timelines. So it's probably around 11 p.m. at this point. Starting to get pretty deep into the night. So you spent a bunch of hours on healing, cooking, all that. But you might be able to still get an hour in trying to patch up Ogden.
I'll give it a shot. I did only spend 10 minutes on Ayla for that last one.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So
maybe
one more for Ogden.
Maybe this one will take it to 11 p.m. then, if it goes to an hour.
All right, 14 over the hour.
All right, so are you pushing it to midnight, or just gonna be good enough for that one?
Well, I can pick it up in the morning, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so I'll see what Ogden looks like in the morning and treat wounds again then.
All right. Are you all setting up a watch, or do you feel pretty secure in your house here?
With everything patched up, I would hope it's pretty secure.
Yeah, that's just a kind of a vibe check on if you all feel like a watch is necessary or not.
I think we're probably good. I don't know.
That sneaky guy should at least be scared of us for another day or so.
Makes sense. I'm not hearing anybody super in favor of a watch, so we'll assume you skip it. And so 8 hours later, you all wake up in the morning. You hear the rooster crow, even though none of you have a rooster anywhere near this place. You're out in the wilderness. But somehow, the magical rooster that signals morning has arrived. Will give his little morning cry. The sun rises, and you're all ready to go for the day. So it's probably about 7 a.m.
All right. Ogden needs some help, so I will treat wounds on Ogden for an hour.
All right, let's see how it goes. Critical success.
All right, 24 points of healing for Ogden for that hour.
That is an
Heck yeah.
unfortunate roll for a crit. 2 1s and a 2.
Oh.
But hey, that's still a bunch overall because of the hour doubling it. I was just like, wow, a 12 on a crit? What the heck?
Well, that puts me at max health anyways.
Well, yeah.
All right, then I will spend 10 minutes patching up myself.
There you go. It's nice that a few more levels giving you some more proficiency bonus here makes this way more reliable than it was at the start of the game. It felt like a 50-50 if you're just gonna injure yourself instead.
Yeah, I've been putting. Let's see. I took. Wait, no, did I? Not yet, but I do have the upgraded healing kit as well, so that helps.
Yeah. Extra +1. All right. So you spend about an hour in the morning. It's a little after 8 a.m. I assume you all get breakfast and stuff. We'll say it's about 9 a.m. when you're ready to go for the day. You all traveling back to Otari. You have another destination in mind. The world is your oyster. What are you doing?
Did we want to check out Munder's castle to see if the last brother went there?
We could.
I know it's been a night and it might only be some evidence of him being there, but
Might be worth it to check it out.
People do tend to rush back to their safe places when they're scared.
All right. So we can skip over the travel for that as well, just because it's not something I want to focus on tonight. But you get over to Munder Castle, and it's just like another couple hour trip over in that direction. Or I guess it would be like an hour trip in that direction. Moving slowly and cautiously. And you get there, and it's pretty much as you left it. But you immediately notice once you get inside that the body you had left on the floor there The name escapes me. But Morgrim Leadbuster's body, the necromancer, is gone.
The skeleton ate him.
Yes, his skeleton too is gone. The other bodies are still there.
Well, it seems like he did come back here.
Yeah, if you would check down by the river, that other Leadbuster lad who was down there, Kotgar, his body's also gone.
All right, I guess we start tracking him from here.
Yeah, are there any noticeable tracks? Or you said he was pretty sneaky. So.
Yeah, I mean, you could give me like a survival if you want to track him down.
I'm not good at
I
survival.
believe there's
but I'll
actually
try.
there's a track action, which is a survival check. Yes.
Oh, I thought it had something that gave me bonuses.
Let's see. Yeah, it is a survival check. I'm just reading the rules here. It does give a list of examples for levels of like proficiency. And it says with untrained tracking, you should be able to track the path of a large army trampling over everything.
So I cannot.
Probably not. I mean, these are sample tasks, just to like give ballpark regions for players. But the example of tracking a nimble panther through a jungle obscured by like rainfall and stuff is an expert, whereas trained level is like tracking a rampaging bear. So I think tracking somebody who's intentionally trying to hide is just kind of tricky here, but you still roll for it. But unfortunately, this did not need to be a secret roll because you'll know if you find his tracks, or if you find tracks or not. And you do not find any tracks. It appears he's pretty successfully sneaky and hiding his tracks.
Well, I guess once we get back to Otari, I can talk to the Thieves Guild and maybe have them keep an eye out for the last brother.
Probably worth it. If I had to take a guess, he's probably going to try and come after us at some point.
I wouldn't doubt it.
So I guess back to Otari then?
I guess so.
I don't hear any no's, so back to Atari you go. Another hour or so of travel. So this brings us probably close to noon at this point. You make it back to Otari, and I think when you get there, one of the town guard actually sees you coming into town and approaches you. Oh, hold there. Got a message for you. You all are, let's see, yeah, this is, for Ayla, Ashay, Ogden, and, it says a monkey here? It doesn't list a name, but you seem to fit the, I do apologize for any,
Do I look like a monkey to you?
I'm sorry, no, this must be the wrong group. Move along then.
It just looks like a monkey, you idiot! Give it to us!
Oh,
His
to
name
my
is
apologies.
Jib.
Oh, yes, I'll make sure we are all aware. Jib is your name. Yes, he was extremely flustered by this interaction. I'm sorry. There's no paper message to give. Pardon me. I'm all fluttered from this. You all are such heroes in town. We keep hearing your names passed around, and now Jib will be passed around as well. Of course, we'll make sure that everyone hears of your heroism. The message I have for you is from Alimora Inkelholtz, the head of the Inkelholtz family. She heard of your deeds. She is here in town, and she would like to reward you in person. So they are throwing a party down at the fishery. If you would be so kind as to make your way there at your earliest opportunity, you all are the guests of honor, after all.
All right, I guess we'll head there.
And on a personal note, thank you for your service in defending this town. You've made all of our jobs much easier, and made the town safer. We cannot thank you enough.
We are happy to have helped.
He gives a proud nod and then walks off. So, are you heading straight to the fishery, or do you have some detours to make along the way? Or is anyone avoiding a party because they just don't want to be in that kind of situation?
I would probably not go to the Thieves Guild yet because it's pretty early in the morning, so they're probably not the best time to talk to them yet.
I mean, it's
So
like
I would-
noon, so you probably could, but I mean, it's just up to you. They probably have access 24/7, but whatever you feel works. They're again a bit of a weird one in Otari in that they are a thieves guild in general, but they specifically don't eat where they shit, so to speak, and so the town guard kind of doesn't care that they're here, and it's kind of an open secret because they very specifically have policies never to fuck with anything in Otari. Like the thieves guild never steals anything from this town. So I don't think like anybody would actually really care all that much if you were seen in broad daylight going up there. They still try to keep some level of secrecy, and access to knowledge and things like that are kept a little bit, a little more close to the chest. But as far as like knowledge of their location and who comes and goes there, that's not too secret.
Well, I guess I would go talk to them and
Business and then party, or party and then business?
business and then party. Because I don't know if anyone wants the climbing bolt. I'm not going to use it because I don't have a crossbow.
I don't think I know how to use a crossbow.
And then we have the ring to sell. I'd probably keep the deed to the castle back at the house, so I wouldn't have that.
Yeah, and it might be worth thinking about the ring as well. You could absolutely sell it, but on the other hand, if you want to keep the deed to Monder Castle, and actually any of you want to become like lords of that castle or anything like that, that is the signet ring of that castle. So like if you want to actually hold on to the castle, you might want to hold on to it, but if you don't fucking care about the castle, or you want to sell the deed to the castle too or whatever, then yeah, selling the ring makes... I just wanted to make sure that those two things are somewhat tied together, if that makes some sense.
Yeah.
But if you want to get rid of them, that's totally an option. It would probably be worth quite a bit of money.
Well, does anyone want to keep them?
I mean, we could own a castle.
Ooh.
Let's hold on to them for now, at least.
Okay.
It's not like we're hard up for cash at the moment.
So is it reasonable for me, Jordan, then to just put them in the party stash to kind of say these are at the
Yeah, that's
place
fine.
that, because they each have weight.
Especially since you were just at your house, it makes sense that you could stash a few things there.
Okay, and then if no one wants the climbing bolt, I'm going to put that in the party stash to sell.
All right.
And
We can
then
just
I
handle
think-
that.
And hold a crossbow.
I don't think any of us really wear heavy armor, so we probably want to sell that.
So I'll sell the climbing bolts because none of you want it. And I will add just money for that. Easy enough. If you wanted to sell the armor, you could probably sell that for about 18 gold pieces. Does that sound like what you want to do?
Yeah, I wouldn't use it because it gives me really crazy penalties, and I already have a +5, and that would only get me to a +6. So
Makes sense.
not worth the -2 check and the -10 speed.
So we'll
I
just
don't think I
convert
can
that.
wear that heavy of armor.
I'll just keep converting various bits of money here. All right. Got a little bit of money in there now.
We also had the healer's tools and the writing set that I don't think anyone was going to take, and then we have that bird feather.
Yeah, if you want to sell all that, I could just keep converting shit.
Had an extra set of healer's tools, right?
There's an extra set, yeah. So the feather token, nobody wanted that?
The latter one?
No, this one turns into a bird that can send a message long distance for you, like miles and miles away.
I feel like we should hold on to that just in case.
I
Yeah.
second that.
Yeah, it's kind
But
of
yeah,
like a
I believe-
one-time use sending, basically.
I think
But
the
slower.
writing set and the healer's tools were the ones that we found in our little house.
Any claims to those items? Going once? Going twice?
Twice.
Cool. 6 more gold pieces for the group. All right. All right then. Business concluded. Did you want to stop by the Thieves Guild and just ask questions there before heading to the fishery? It sounded like.
Probably just kind of giving my heads up that
All
like
right.
one of the brothers got away. If you hear any activity, let us know.
Yes, we'll cut to a montage of you already being in there and saying that. So one of the Leadbuster lads got away. Which one was it? The one with the hammer, the necromancer, the paladin-y one. The sneaky one.
It was the sneaky one that got away.
Ah,
We did some pretty good damage to him in our fight, and then he just kind of disappeared, and we could not track him. He did get all of his
We'll,
brothers' bodies, it seems, so hopefully he's not the necromancy one.
we'll keep an eye out, but our information, our intelligence notes that he doesn't seem to be particularly emotional. He is, well, obviously sentimental enough to bury his brothers, as makes plenty of sense, but he appears to be very pragmatic. He's probably on to his next job already. He's very practical. He's not going to come back. Obviously, watching your backs is probably for the best, but I don't see him as the type to do that. He's probably just happy to have escaped with his life and is moving on, grieving, and then taking on more jobs. Maybe taking on more jobs in a manner of grieving. He seemed like that kind of guy. Just working through it.
Well, that makes sense. Thank you for the information. We all barely got
course.
out of that with our lives as well.
Yes, they were, we did hear they were somewhat well-funded and formidable. This makes sense. We are glad, of course, that you made it out alive. You know where to go. You've been a great customer for us, and we hope our information helped you out on your ventures. We've heard the rumors going around town. Your names get ever more auspicious. So I hope we'll be doing plenty of good business in the future.
Oh yes, your information has been very valuable to us.
Yes, and that piece of information about Omblin, the sneaky one, consider that just a free gift as a token of goodwill, and in hopes that you'll come back to us for more information needs in the future.
Well, thank you. And I will get up and walk away.
All right. You head back out of the Thieves Guild. And any other business in town before y'all head down to the fishery?
Who would be the? Is there like the captain of the guard, or is there anyone else to turn in that area map to?
Yeah, probably the captain of the guard.
I would probably go to him and have like a quick conversation and say, "Hey, a lot of the farms burning down and the flume attacks and lumber mills and all of it seem to have been orchestrated by the Leadbuster lads." And I would unfurl the map and say, "Here's."
What? Who? A grand conspiracy, a grand plot, you say? In our
Not-
small city?
I wouldn't call it a conspiracy. We haven't really understood who it was. We just know that these people were paid to do this, so there probably is someone out for us.
And you have evidence of this?
Yes, I would unfurl the map. And didn't we get a letter?
I think he kind of slightly rudely snatches these pieces of paper from you. Yeah, you had a letter from the cult of Lamashtu.
Didn't we also have a contract from the consortium?
You had a contract from the Leadbuster lads to one of their workers who was burning down the flume, like one of their minions.
We heard about the consortium from the brother, so that was just word of mouth.
Yes.
But all of
I
us
don't-
heard it.
Yeah, all of you are witnesses to that interrogation, but I don't think you have any paper mentioning the consortium. But he will take...
So we'll probably keep that to ourselves for now, unless you believe otherwise.
I think it would probably be good to keep to ourselves so we can investigate it a little more.
And do you hand over the letter from the cult of Lamashtu as well, or no?
I don't remember who had that.
I mean, we could just say you have it if you were intending to hand it over. I'm just curious if that's another matter you think the guard should look into, or if you want to hold on to that to investigate yourselves, or what.
Probably hold on to it.
Okay, so just the map of the area then you hand, and the
Yep.
contract to the other worker.
Yep.
So, Captain Longsaddle will kind of rudely snatch these from you. Like, what? Let me see that. Pull out a set of reading glasses and put them over his eyes and. Yes, I see. And just keep on like studying different parts of it. Like, yes, that was just a week ago. That point just happened there. Yes, this all does line up. And you four have been... You've been doing good work. I'm inclined to trust your testimony. Thank you for bringing this to my attention, and thank you for taking them out of the picture.
Yes, no problem. If there are any that are supposed to happen, I would say maybe keep an eye on it, just because I know one of the brothers did escape, but I'm not sure if he's going to be continuing these contracts or find other ones, but just something to keep an eye on.
Yes. Could you give me a description? We'll keep an eye out for him. And not that you actually personally have to describe him, but I can assume you'll give him a description if you want to, and then...
Yeah.
Alright. So you chat over with him, and like maybe one of the other guards starts to sketch out like a rough, image of what this dwarf might look like, so they might be able to catch him in the future. Very well. Thank you for the tip. You all are doing good work keeping our town safe. We appreciate it.
As the guard was doing the sketch, Jib also... I feel like if the guy... He would have just taken one of the pieces of paper he had and just started drawing on it. And then at the end of this exchange, he just goes, "This is for you." And it's just like a 5-year-old drawing of him.
Of the captain? Or of
Yeah.
the dwarf? Okay. Is this? I think he mistakes what you mean. He's like, this quite conflicts the description given by Ogden. Are you sure this is the perpetrator?
I thought we were just drawing pictures of each other.
Oh, who is this supposed to be?
You!
Oh, no, my mustache is far larger than that. You got the proportions all wrong here.
Everyone's a critic.
Well, you see, and he strokes his very comically large mustache. It's very important to get the proportions on these things right.
I'm taking it back.
Snatch it from him. Yep, very well.
Starts contemplating his art.
Other matters of business here. I have a note here that my guard should have delivered a note to you. Did that make it to you successfully?
Yes, we just had some business to take care of, and then we were gonna go to the party.
A party in your honor, then. Good. I was starting to feel bad that us, as the Otari garrison, could not, at the moment, could not quite afford to award you in recognition of what you've done for the town, but it sounds like others have already taken up that effort, so we will have to thank them as well. Anyways, we should not keep you from your party.
Thank you for your help, and any information on that final brother would be...
Hold on. Parties. Were you the group that brought the bear to the tug of war weeks ago?
Bear? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Okay, must have been a different adventuring group. All right.
Someone brought a bear?
Yeah, it was really unfair. It really tilted the balance. I don't know how they allowed that shit.
But you have... Look, Jib here is pretty recognizable, right?
Yeah, no. Never seen anyone like him. Yeah, you're right. I would have noticed. You're right. Yeah, no, couldn't be. I mean, you don't have a bear with you now, so. Anyways, yeah. Sorry to interrupt. You all have a good time at your party. Hopefully, nobody brings a bear this time.
I feel like if it was us, it would be pretty hard for us to lose track of the bear.
Yeah, you'd think, right?
Yeah.
Well, we have important business matters to attend to. We need to make sure the perimeter's secure, and you all have a party to get to, so have a good day. Oh, and thank you again. Seems like Captain Longsaddle is only, begrudgingly thanking you all. Yeah. He seems like a kind of rude guy, which is what you've gathered from interacting with him multiple times in the past, but...
Alright, so we head down to the fishery.
All right.
Is it okay for me to delete that area map now?
Yeah, if you hand it over to him, it's fine. Down to the fishery you go, where a great feast is being organized. The party is not quite fully started yet because the fishery usually doesn't actually have its activities until the evenings, but there are still people gathering, there's still food being set out at the table. You're pretty much just in time to start things, because they wanted to start pretty much when you got there. They were waiting on you, and just continually setting things up better and better until you got there, using their time to make the fishery look nicer, or have more food, and people from around town just kept bringing more goodies. It's basically like a giant potluck that has been organized for you all. So
what I'm hearing is that we should have waited longer.
Yeah, potentially, although if you sit here, more stuff will just continue to come in and get set up. So, and as you come in, and somebody kind of pulls you aside, just like waves you over to a corner before you even get to jump into all the stuff. Unless some of you run off and just ignore this beckon. That's up to you. It is a very wealthy looking blonde, very wealthy looking blonde woman who looks to be maybe her like early 40s, late 30s. But she's just wearing extremely impressive clothes. It just looks like money is practically falling out of her pockets. And she's like waving you over to her corner of the room. Does anybody
go over
just
and talk.
rush into the food instead, or like, are you gonna come talk to her?
Sorry, I was getting actual food. Arya was handing me a plate. Can you repeat what you said?
Rich lady in the corner is beckoning you over before you get to the food table. Do you go over to her, or do you just...
Yes, and I will strong arm Jib into following me.
Oh, okay.
Look back of the collar, just drag him over. So, yes, hello. I am Alimora. I am the one who summoned you here, and I am the one who sponsored this this party in your honor. Just wanted to say thank you for defending my men and taking care of those ne'er-do-wells who would strike down my business. Those cutthroats that I assume the Cortos Consortium hired. Who else would it be, of course?
Thank you for the food.
Of course, it's the least we could do. Heroes deserve a feast. I think we can all agree.
I couldn't agree more.
Yes, my men made sure to pass that along, so I made sure to make it happen.
We don't have concrete evidence, but word of mouth from the Necromancer brother, yes, the Cortos Consortium did sponsor this whole deal.
It tracks with what we would assume about the situation. I'm sure they'll deny it publicly if we try to attack them over it. Plausible deniability and all that. But, well, we'll keep an eye out. It's not the first time they've tried to pull something like this, but it is the most violent way they've tried to pull something like this, so we'll just keep our eye out for further escalations, I guess. But for now, they've been thwarted, and I'm sure they'll go into hiding and keeping it a bit more calm for the future. They don't want to draw more heat right now, but again, thank you, and I wanted to reward all of you personally. And she reaches up and off of one of her arms, she actually like unfastens a metal bracelet and pulls it off and then clasps it back together. And then with that hand that no longer has a bracelet on it, she reaches behind her and pulls out 4 sacks of coins. She says, so this is a possession of mine I've had for quite a long time, ever since I used to go on adventures as well. Perhaps it could be of use to one of you. It is a bracelet that will help make you a little bit faster, just a little extra edge in your running when you really need it. And of course, lots of coin for each of you. I want to make sure that we are as generous as possible, because you have saved many lives and saved us quite a bit of money and trouble and taking care of those bastards. Really, I cannot thank you well enough. So here you are.
I would thank her profusely and pass the bracelet straight to Ogden. It's a boost to speed or initiative or both?
Speed. It is a hold on, let me bring up the actual item real quick. It's a bracelet of dashing. It generally gives you a +1 to acrobatics checks, just passively, but once per day, you can activate it for a minute of +10 feet of speed. So every move action is 10 foot faster.
That seems very much in keeping with how I've seen Ogden fighting recently, so I would make eye contact with everyone else to make sure they're in agreement and then pass it over.
Sound good to everyone?
Sounds
Yes.
good to me.
All right. Boom. Ogden, you have a bracelet of dashing. So you want to invest in that so you can, with a little diamond thingy, so that you can get going on that. She also has handed each of you a pouch of 50 gold pieces.
Oof.
Yes, I hope you'll put it to good use, and, more money moving through Otari is never a bad thing. It'll just stimulate the economy a little bit. We'll get some more things going here, and people have had trouble as of late, so a little more money moving around could help.
I
Plus,
definitely need
you all
to
deserve it.
Go to the apothecary to stock up on healing potions.
Absolutely. What did Chip say? Monkey noises got across, but nothing else.
Sorry, he just goes, I'm rich!
Yes. Well, I won't hold you too much longer with boring pleasantries if you have food to consume and festivities to partake in. But if you have more questions for myself, I'm happy to speak with you further. But that is the extent of my reward for you, except for me to say thank you once again.
I would probably, wait and not hold everyone else up, but ask should we expect trouble from the consortium for interfering?
This is the most violent they've ever been. So this is a bit of a new thing for them, but that said, the pattern of their actions in the past, they're a very cautious corporation. They move with precision and calculation. I'm sure right now the heat is rather high, even though they may deny any involvement in this case. In the future, if something else were to happen and it made its way up as an accusation against them again, it gets harder and harder to deny these things. I think they will keep their heads low for the time being. Really, these attacks tend to come in once every few years.
Good to know.
Of course.
Also, Gibbs never had money before, so I appreciate your patience.
Yeah, what is Jib doing with the coins?
I think first thing he did was bit one to make sure it was real. Because he's seen people do that before, he thinks. And then he kind of just buys the biggest plate of meat he can at the tavern.
Hell yeah. Big plate of meat. Alright. And so, does anyone have anything specific they want to cover while they participate in this party here, or should I just describe a bunch of stuff?
I would probably discreetly go to the owner of the fishery and let her know that Nocti was returned to wind.
Oh, that's a shame. Will she be back?
Ayla mentioned a couple days.
Ah, not long then. That's good. That's good. That is a shame, but well.
She's been taking it kind of rough, so I figured it might be difficult if you went up and offered fish or something for the cat.
Well, yes. When Nocti's back, we can offer all the fresh fish she wants. I mean, I can send some fish with you now. It might get smelly rather quickly.
We've had enough of the fish smell for a little bit.
Yes. Well. I feel it may just be bringing up wounds at the moment. But when Nocti is back, bring her back here. We can celebrate. And yes, of course.
Of course.
Ayla is partaking in alcohol in the meantime.
Oh, big sip.
Big sip.
Ogden definitely would be as well, because of how many times he's just been knocked unconscious at this point.
Yeah. Like, your wounds have been healed, There's some magic in there. There's some medical, like there's probably some stitches you still have and some bruises you still bear, even though you're like technically up to full fighting strength again. You know, you're still probably a bit achy.
Not to mention just the trauma of nearly dying so many times in
Yes.
a couple days.
Being bit in half by a dragon, knocked off a building by a gargoyle.
Yeah. Jib's partaking in a bunch of meat, it sounds like. So Shay, after you have that conversation with Tamily Tandervale, what else do you do at the party?
I'll get some food and a drink, maybe two, no more, and then I will keep an eye on Ogden and Ayla in particular.
Fair enough.
And an ear out for Jib, because he's a little easier to hear.
Not keeping an eye out on Jim seems risky, I was about to say.
You just listen for the monkey noises.
Lots of money.
I love the
Basically,
idea
I've
of
set myself up as designated driver, but in terms of steering everybody home
Yes.
without starting a fight.
I love the idea of like any scene that doesn't directly have Jib in it just has a background noise of like vague monkey noises in the background. He's somewhere nearby. His presence can be felt.
He's approaching rapidly. He's Jim.
Yes. And so the feast is in your honor, and so people keep buying you drinks, they keep buying you food, they keep thanking you, and it's kind of a whirl, especially for those of you who are drinking heavily. Just a whirl of thanks and good vibes, and maybe a lot of social interaction, which may drive further drinking for some of you, and so on and so forth. And you end up being there pretty much all day, unless anyone would want to cut out early, and into the night, and well, at a certain point, you either have to choose to head back to your hideaway out of Otari and make a bit of a journey, or get a room here in town somewhere.
How drunk are Ayla and Ogden?
I will let them choose exactly what level they want to be.
I'm able to walk.
Aggressively.
And so I will make arrangements for a hotel, or a night at the Rowdy Rockfish. I will probably hold Ayla up and hold her hair if she needs to puke or anything like that.
We'll be fine. You think? Maybe.
And so you all turn in for a night that certainly won't end in a hangover for you in the morning.
By the end of the night, you just see like a bloated, rotund Jib, just unable to move.
We've got to roll Jib out of the fishery.
Pretty much. I just imagine he gets like wheelbarrowed out of the kitchen. Like we found this in our kitchen.
He ate through all the supplies.
Can I just like have Jib ride piggyback on Ogden for the rope? Walk back to the Rockfish?
Yeah,
Looks like
that
a
works.
loaded backpack.
Jib's torso is like 3 times the size of what it usually is. So, yeah, nothing special happens on the night. You all, unless somebody wants there to be, just interject, literally interrupt me. But you wake up the next morning. Several of you are probably pretty darn hungover. And yeah, now we are basically entering a period of downtime for about a week. So if anyone has specific things they want to do, I mean, Personally, I'd prefer to maybe avoid doing like the super nitty gritty like money making downtime things, but this is probably a good because you guys are. I already overpaid you on that last job just to give you an excuse to just spend money right now instead. So if anyone has things they want to get done, like adding runes onto weapons or getting things crafted or doing special orders from Absalom for items you might not be able to get in Otari or whatever, now's a good time to do it. And we can bring up some things now if you want to do it now, or between this week and next week we can get into some items. And
I will definitely need to think about it. I think I would probably do some research into the deed and the signet ring.
yeah, makes sense. Research into it as in trying to find the history of the place more.
A little bit more of history, and I guess social importance in the area.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I can give you that answer now. And we could say that Ashay just spent some of that time doing that research. Social importance in the area, very little. Most people we talk to wouldn't even know it exists. It's just one of the hundreds of old warlord castles that dot the region. There's not like a family attached to it in the area anymore or anything like that. It's just an old ruin. But history of the place, yeah, it's just an old warlord's haunt. Just used to live there, eventually died, had no heirs. The place just kind of fell into ruin from there. But the deed is very specific that if you possess the deed, you possess the building. So technically right now you possess the building if you want it. There's not like any more complicated laws to go into than that. You just have it if you want it. Or you could sell it, or whatever.
All right. Yeah,
It is,
I was mostly just
yeah.
trying to gauge how much of a splash if we just decided to keep it.
Yeah, not. I mean, considering a bunch of not just thieves, but like thieves and assassins and saboteurs and all of that were just kind of holed up in there, and nobody even knew. It's yeah, it's not something anybody thinks about ever. It just it technically is a structure.
All right. How difficult would it be to find the gargoyle? Is he still in the area?
Oh, probably extremely difficult. I mean, he just flew away, or she rather, just flew away. And it's kind of hard to track something that flies, and I doubt they want to be in the area at all.
Okay.
Were you just like thinking of getting her back to the castle again to like have a house there or something like?
Yeah, she wanted to.
Yeah.
Do I have to be able to see someone to cast message?
I mean, I think it has a
Use the bird?
range limit. Let's see what the bird says. You do need the rough location of the recipient. Well, the location must be somewhere you visited.
Okay. Well, I guess in that case, just make preparations for the keep to be kind of a fallback hideout, like if we're being chased all the way back somewhere or something.
Yeah, it is a defensible position. Like it's the walls have crumbled in a few places, but they're kind of patched up by the Leadbuster lads when they moved in with a bunch of mostly wooden repairs. But it does have like a functioning gate and that kind of thing, and it's definitely a good emergency hideaway for sure.
And it's sort of midway point between our house and Otari if we need to rest.
Yeah, I'd say it's more like a it's closer to your, like if we view it as a triangle, it is closer to your actual hideaway than it is to Otari itself. But like you wouldn't it would be out of the way to go there before you go to Otari, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But given the amount of time we spend running around, hanging on by a thread of life,
Yeah.
it seems like a good idea to have somewhere we can hole up and defend if we need it.
Yeah, it's another backup. All right, so that's what Shay does with some of her time, and we can handle between sessions if you have questions about crafting things or getting things crafted in town or whatever. Anyone else have things they want to do? Yeah, when you got a bunch of money, you could probably pretty easily buy like weapon upgrades and stuff. That's always an option because like adding runes of potency and runes of striking and stuff to weapons is a pretty straightforward process.
Yeah, unless you're 1 gold off.
True. Are you 1 gold off? That sucks.
Yeah, if you split up the party gold, I have 64 and a half.
Well, let's split up the party gold right now. Let's just do that so we have accurate counts.
Should I have not added the 50 gold to my sheet?
No, you got that. I was splitting up there's a shared fund of like stuff from being sold. Yeah, so now everyone's coin counts are accurate.
Yeah, I mean, I would try to barter with Blades for Glades to see if I can like help them out or do any work or anything.
I'd give you the gold you need.
So you want to add a +1 to the spark blade? Is that the idea, or the smoking sword? Which one was? Yeah. Oh, it's the
Yeah,
spark
I wanted
blade.
to add the striking,
Okay.
which
Yeah. Did we? Hold on.
because I have striking on my smoke blade.
Yeah. Do you want to take the rune off your rapier? Because that would be cheaper.
Well,
Or do you wanna-
the spark blade is already a +1 to hit.
Oh, you're trying to add a striking rune. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is 65. Okay. And yeah. So if you get the extra gold there, then we can just add the striking rune right away. And the striking rune, as a reminder, adds an extra die of damage to the weapon. So if it was a 1d6 weapon before, it becomes a 2d6 weapon now. Pretty sick.
What is it again?
A rune of striking adds an extra damage die to rolls with your weapon. So if you had a d8, like if you got on your monk wraps, whatever they're called, the hand wraps of mighty blows, you could potentially give that a striking rune, and you would roll twice the number of dice when you roll your attacks. That would cost 65 gold pieces.
I would buy that.
All right, so subtract 65 gold pieces, and we can upgrade that weapon for you. So I think that'll work how I think it works with monk stuff. If I do, yeah, do you roll your unarmed attack? I guess like that. Open potency, and if I roll 2d4 sounds correct, right? What should it be?
Well, I usually
26.
don't use that attack. I usually use my like gorilla stance
Okay.
attack.
Oh, I see. Well, let's just double check and make sure it does the right number of damage dice then. Yeah, it does 2d8 now. Pretty sick.
Sweet.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so if Shay would give me the 1 gold, I can get the striking on my spark blade too.
Yep.
Big damage.
And that puts me to 0 gold. Let's go.
Let's go. And yeah, it's just good to get these couple things done now because It takes Blades for Glades a couple days to finish crafting these things, so downtime is the perfect time. And Ayla, over this time, you're working on getting Nocti back, right? Do you want to describe that process at all?
Sorry, my brain stalled.
I mean, I can help with ideas if you want, but just wanted to make sure you have agency over what this looks like.
Sure. No, I like ideas. They're good.
So, look, your magic taps into an elemental plane, and you channel it through your elemental gate, right? So you've got like the wisps of Nocti left, but maybe we just see Ayla occasionally, like every morning, every midday, every night, just summoning some more magic power and like condensing it into that form, kind of nursing energy back into Nocti's little spirit. And just it's like slowly taking shape, but it's like kind of just a puffy cloud that is slowly being sculpted into a little cat. That sound pretty
Wandering
reasonable?
around to spending the first day to wander around to find the windiest spot along the cliff town.
Yeah, that's
to
good.
meditate there.
I like that. It's like a little sleeping kitty just slowly taking shape. And then eventually on one of the days, it opens its little eyes.
Yeah.
But what does Nocti look similar to before, or just smaller, or what's the vibe?
Before Nocti looked more like a full-grown cat, right?
Uh-huh.
Very large and very floofy and very regal, kinda. And now she's much smaller. Basically a kitten, just as clumsy to match. Still just as playful as she was before, though.
Hell yeah. I mean, in my head, I'm kind of picturing like, you know, how a lot of kittens, especially when they're really small kittens, their fur is like super poofy. So like a really fluffy cloud that Nocti is based on, like just very
her
poofy.
tail is especially poofy.
Hell yeah. Little Nocti.
Little Nocti, big eyes, little meows.
Yes. And now Nocti can be helpful, but no longer combat. Not strong enough for combat. But this brings Nocti back to what she should be doing. I mean, I think you can do stuff like deliver touch spells and things like that, but yeah, mostly a good utility. I think one thing I heard that might be a good use is like having Nocti help you manage items, because like Nocti could essentially, you could spend one action to have Nocti like climb up your shoulder and take out a potion for you, you know, like, and a scroll or something, right? Just kind of turn one action into two for things like that.
Yeah.
So there's options.
Or I could stick Nocti on one of the party members and be able to cast a 2-action heal without moving to the person.
Yeah, exactly. Well, 2-action heal I think has a range too, but there's still good options.
Does it?
Yeah, I think 2-action is like a 30-foot. The original range of the 1-action is touch, I think. I could be mistaken.
I think it's the other way around, but I could be wrong.
Oh, that could be as well. I remember one of them is 1 and 1 is the other, but
oh no, 30 feet does have, or that's 2 actions, yeah.
Yeah, 1 action is touch, 2 action is 30 feet. But yeah, hey, good stuff though. I mean, there's lots of options. Yeah. I like the idea of sticking Nocti on a party member to cast spells on that party member, though. It's literally just, it's Milos again. Yeah. It's Koneko again. We got back to the same build in the end.
Not to say I'm predictable, but...
But cats, though. That's the thing. Okay. Anybody else have ideas of downtime thingies to do in the meantime?
I have some shopping I'd like to do, but I haven't done
That's okay.
decision making yet.
So I'll leave the server running for people to do shopping. We can just leave it on this tab over the week. But let's spend the last few minutes of the session then introducing the next stuff, and we can retroactively handle the downtime stuff next time. You just say, it all happened before, if you need to purchase things or whatever. But what's happening right now is, Ayla, you tend to stay at the library, right? The temple?
Yes.
So I think one day, the double checking my notes here. I'm sorry. Yes, the head priestess of Sarenrae at this temple, the Dawnflower herself, comes to greet you in the morning. And she is Vandy Banderdash. She is a small blonde halfling dressed in priestess's robes that are all heavily adorned to indicate that she is the head priestess here. And she very cheerily jumps into your chambers as you're getting up in the morning and says, "Good morning. You Ayla, you run around town with a bunch of other heroes, right? Been hearing so many rumors."
You could say that.
Good. Yes, okay, good. I thought so. Sorry, there's so many pieces of information to keep track of here. If you could contact your friends, but do you all have a name for yourselves? Or Ayla and friends?
Don't think we've come up with a name.
That's all right. Ayla and friends we'll go with for now. If you could have them all come here at some point, well, it doesn't have to be immediately, but as soon as possible, it would be greatly appreciated. I think we have a task that we could use your assistance with, and it could be a good opportunity for an adventuring expedition as well.
Sounds good. I assume they're at the Rowdy Rockfish still?
That would make sense to me.
Before she manages to walk out the door, the room gets windy for about 6 seconds. And I will communicate that to Eshe.
All
With
right.
my definitely not message spell, but it is definitely message. Whisper on the wind. There we go. Oh, the range is a mile now. It doesn't matter where in town they are. Hell yeah.
Nice.
And then I will look back at her and say, okay, they know. They'll probably be over soon.
Oh, excellent. Thank you. Let's we'll gather downstairs and we'll be right by the front door. They won't be able to miss us. Great. And so, for the sake of brevity, you all come over to the temple. You head in through the large double doors at the front, and into the very, very tall bookshelves lining all the space of this temple. And you are greeted by Ayla as well as this head priestess. Hello, come on in. I'm so glad you came. I'm Vandy Banderdash. I don't believe I've met many of you, sorry here, but a friend of Ayla is a friend of mine. I'm the head librarian and priestess of Sarenrae. Please follow me to my office. I have something very interesting to show you. And she immediately turns around and walks away very briskly, like her robes flowing behind her just by the pace she's walking at. Seems like a very energetic individual.
She's always like this. I'm so sorry. It's very early.
It's all right.
Assuming you all follow her to her office, you get in the door just in time to see her taking out a rather large tome and slamming it down on her desk. All right. So this is a series of notes taken by Theda Albade. It's notes on an investigation of a cult in the area. The look on her face turns a little sour. A cult of Lamashtu, unfortunately. we commissioned this investigation several months ago after hearing of increased monster activity in the area. We want to make sure that we stay on top of these things, of course, as we do in the Temple of Sarenrae. Unfortunately, while Theta and her squires were successful in gathering some information, I'm afraid they went off to chase down this cult, and well, they never returned, unfortunately. Now, they do have a relic of Sarenrae that we think could be a great boon to this temple if it were to be recovered. It was sent with them on this journey, and well, if I'm being honest, I hope to try and reverse engineer it and figure out if I can make more of them myself and manufacture these sun wheels, they're called, a powerful protective amulet. It could help us a great deal in driving back these monsters in the future. Anyways, you can look over the notes if you want. If we can find the ultimate fate of these previous adventurers, that would be excellent as well. And of course, number one goal in all of this is to make sure this cult is pushed back and it is not free to operate in this area. We cannot have a cult of Lamashtu operating next to Otari. It is unacceptable, and I'm sure they will probably invade us soon if we do not take care of this. These cults always tend to. Any questions? She's just been rattling off point after point after point.
No, but you might want to see this. And I would gesture to whoever has the letter.
Yes, more evidence of the same. Yes, this does indeed point to the same cult, I believe. This is their symbol. And we have found the rough location. It's listed in these notes here. So hopefully you all can just navigate over there, prepare yourselves, and chase these fiends out of here. That's what I'm hoping. But feel free to look over the notes for whatever you might need. And of course, yeah, any other questions?
Does
No,
it
I can think
mention?
of- What? Sorry, go ahead.
Does it mention anything about the other amulet that we found?
Asmodeus?
Yeah.
Do you want to ask Vandy about Asmodeus? Is that what you're asking, or are you asking me, the GM?
Kind of both. Just like I don't know much about it, so it's like, does it mention anything about this?
No, but that is very troubling. That is not another good name. But I don't believe that. I don't believe they would be working together. No, they would probably be very opposed with each other. That is something else we should keep our eye on, though. She takes out a quill pen and like out of a inkwell on her desk and scribbles something down on a sheet of paper. I'll make sure we follow up on that. But no, we haven't heard any other activities of a cult of Asmodeus in the area. But cult of Lamashtu, yes, they appear to be growing in power concerningly quickly.
All right. Well, we will see what we can find and put a stop to it.
Excellent. And yes, you have our resources behind you. If you need anything specific, any other questions you have, please come back to us. I'm sure we can find information for you and so on. But, well, I'll be honest, that book there is the best resource we have. Theta was very, very thorough and probably compiled all of our knowledge into that one place. It's quite a thick book for a book of notes. So, yes, best of luck. Thank you so much. And, well, of course, I should mention that anything you find on this journey, that whatever treasure you happen to come across or take from these monsters is completely yours to keep. And I'm hoping that is an enticing offer for your reward.
Of course. Dealing with the cult is reward enough, but thank you.
All right. Well, perhaps we'll see to some other form of reward as well. I'm sure we can write down poems in your honor and keep records of your heroism. But we'll get to that when you come back alive. Please do come back alive.
We will do our best.
And all right, I think that's where we'll end the session for this week. So between this session and next, we can handle some downtime stuff, and then we'll kick right into the final chapter of this adventure as you investigate this cult that's been hinted at a few times in the other chapters. Yeah. It's all coming to a close here.
Cool.
I thought you were going to say it's all coming together,
It's all coming together, just as according to plan.
all according to Keikaku. Keikaku's plan.
Yes, Keikaku means plan, exactly. Thank you all for playing.